Hello and welcome to the midweek preview show. David Shortte and Troy Iwanyk with you. How are you today, Troy?
Yeah, very excited, Shorty, very excited. Nationals are here. Can't wait to get involved in this. And how are you doing?
I'm well. I'm also very excited about the prospect of who will go across to the East Coast to represent WA in this year's Nationals. Let's have a look at the first of those particular finals on Thursday night. It is the WA Sprint Championship final. In box 1, Iwanyk Guest, 2, Tattooed Beast, in 3, Mylata, 4, Just a Piastri, our Aussie Salute in box number 5, Charmer in box number 6, in 7, Unchecked, and out there in box number 8, Iconic Jet. Having a look at a couple of replays before we get the form thoughts on the race. We'll start with the greyhound drawn in box number 1, the current fixed odds favourite with Tab Touch, Iconic Guess. This is the free-for-all from Cannington last Saturday night, and from box number 5, Iconic Guess shows excellent early pace, lobs across to the front, and at that point becomes the dog to beat. Sunset Caligula in box number 4 forces through with purpose to lead the chase out after Iconic Guess. As they turn up for home, Iconic Guess is starting to come back a little bit there. Sunset Caligula comes at it hard, but over the concluding stages, while Sunset Caligula is coming hard, it's Iconic Guess that's able to kick again and get the job done. 547, 1380, 1854 overall, 30 and 18 margins there, 3/4 of a length by 7 3/4. So that was Iconic Guess. And while we're talking iconics and replays, let's go to the replay of Iconic Jet. It went round in the Masters free for the last race on the program there last week, and this is absolutely a one-dog affair. From box number 2, Iconic Jet spears the lids, rolls straight onto the arm. Another James lobs into second there, but from that point onwards, this race is over. Iconic Jet, wonderful campaigner. He just burns along up front, turns it into a solo trial. He clears out from its rivals, and that was that. He went on to win by 11 3/4 lengths in a best of night time of 29.87, 5:41, so hot early, 13.61, 18.26. Overall, 29 and 87. That margin, 11 3/4 lengths by 3/4 of a length. So well done to Iconic Jet. And the greyhound drawn in box 1, Iconic Guess. They are the two market elects to this point with Tab Touch, 320 Iconic Guess and 330 Iconic Jet. Troy, I thought the distance final for me was quite straightforward. The sprint final, however, anything but straightforward. I thought you could make a case for almost the entire field here. Little bit of luck in the early stages is going to be key. Iconic Guess brings very strong winning form and comes up with box number 1 from the draw. It's had 7 starts, 1 win and 6 placings, so it's never missed a placing, but only the 1 win. And the other dog we saw on replay there, Iconic Jet from box 8, 9 starts for 5 wins and 2 placings, so has a very good hit rate when drawn at the Fairy Floss. How do you see the sprint feature?
Yeah, I think you've summed it up pretty well. Pretty tough. What a race. Iconic Guess. He just keeps getting it done and finding a way. Every time you look at a race and you think, oh, this is going to be a bit tough, or there might be a bit of a risk here, he just finds a way. He's turning into a real professional, this greyhound, and it's very hard to go against him off the red here. That said, Tattooed Beast in the 2 is a greyhound that keeps stepping up. It's got a great strike rate, can show pace, could be a little bit of a risky each way one here. It must be kept safe. Mylata, we know this greyhound, it was on the rise. Like, it was just getting it done everywhere. It's got pace, it can run good time, can't be overlooked. I thought Charmer was a sneaky one here. If there's a bit of interference somewhere, we know this greyhound, he needs to get a spot where he can get a momentum and keep building up, but he's just got that amazing burst, finishing burst on him, and that engine. If he gets a look, he could be sneaky, but I love Iconic Jet, and I heard you say the box record there before. Everything points that he could be big in here, but it's a big change from Masters to Sprint, and I just find him a bit risky at box rise at the moment. He's not that consistent burnout, and when you've got greyhounds like Tattooed Beast, Mylata, Piastri, Aussie Salute, who we haven't even touched on yet, who's been in brilliant form, and even Unchecked in the 7, can all show pace. I just don't think it's going to be an easy task to get across from the pink here, and that really worries me. Had he drawn inside, I would have been saying, yeah, let's get on here. So I'm actually going to avoid Iconic Jet here in my tips, just because of that risk factor. Can he win? Absolutely. Would he be a great rep? Absolutely. Would it be great to see him win? Absolutely. But I'm just, from a punting perspective, I think there's too much risk. I'm sticking to the inside, I'm sticking with Iconic Guess, and I'm sticking with Mylata.
All right, so 1 and 3 for Troy. As I said, I think I wouldn't talk you out of anything that you like in this race. Inside advantage or outside extreme can often be a big advantage in these races. If there's a jam up in the middle, that dog punching the fence really hard or getting that slingshot around can often be the dog that's really well advantaged. I can make a case either way. There is plenty of pace drawn sort of into middle. If they do find each other a little, though, it does potentially leave it for a dog like Iwanyk Jet. The logical play in the race is the real standout run-on dog that's been going around over middle distances and beyond is Charmer. So I'm probably going to take a little rove and take the punt while the draw's awkward. Most of the rest have got superior early pace, so it can probably just flop over into a spot through the first corner unimpeded. And if there happens to be a bit of a jam up in the race, it's the dog that'll be really smashing the line late. Could be a nice one to rove up trifecta and first four players, but should be a wonderful edition of the WA Sprint Championship on Thursday night. I think it's a race that's up for grabs, and good luck to everybody with a representative on Thursday night. Be some sort of thrill to get across and represent WA. Let's get to the distance final now. Race number 8, Greyhounds WA. Of course, putting it together, box 1 is Banali, Ironworks in 2, Max Capacity 3, Just a Princess in 4, Black Tiger in 5, cashing out in 6, West On Model draws 7, and out in box number 8, the very talented Miss Envy. Let's go back and recap a couple of recent performances from some of the key prospects in the market, starting with Ironworks. It goes around in a free-for-all over 715 metres here a fortnight ago. From box number 5, West On Menace leads from Black Tiger and Our Girl Jess with about a lap to go. You can just start to see that Ironworks and Just a Princess are starting to make a little bit of ground and come into it from the back of the pack. They get up around the 600 metre boxes, and Ironworks is starting to get to the outside and motor home. Those front runners just coming back a little bit, and it's Ironworks gets to the outside and arrives just in the nick of time. Just a Princess runs on well for second as well, and West On Menace finishes back there in third. It was 5.63, 16.11, 30 and 13, 42.38 overall. Margins half a length by half a head. And the other replay we're going to have a look at is the star of WA chasing over the last 3 years, and that is, of course, the very talented Miss Envy. We'll have a look at the most recent performance in the Group 1 Queensland Cup up there at Q2 Parklands, and against a field of outstanding stays. The best in the nation were assembled up there in Queensland, and have a look at Miss Envy from box number 4. Spears to the top. Now, if you don't know your chasing and sort of the national scene, the big white canine without a trace who's on the outside there of Miss Envy and looking to put pressure on is one of the most talented stayers in the land. And the way that Miss Envy's able to just hold the fence and handle that pressure and just keep booting up's excellent. You can see behind them Magpie Hector starting to work into it. Miss Envy, though, up front just keeps on kicking without a trace, stays close, but over the concluding stages, Magpie Hector and also we can see without a trace just not able to close, and Miss Envy any distance just gets to the front, and good luck running by. She's such a wonderful bitch, aiming up at her 3rd WA Greyhound of the Year title. This was a very, very special effort, though. Only a second performance over the 700 metres. The heat win was superb against the best, and of course she's won over the 500 and 600 metres. But now late in her career, to just show that she's got that third piece of arsenal, 5, 6 or 7, throw me whatever you like, and I'm up to the task against Australia's best. She is an absolute star, and she's going to take a power beating here in the WA Distance Championship final, Troy.
Yeah, I was over in Queensland for that race, Shorty, and watching her live in that one was amazing. She once she got to the front, there's just no catching her. She was just exceptional that night, on point and going superb. I think she's a standout here. I've got proven next to Ironworks because he's proven over this trip, and he's the one that could pose a little bit of a danger, but really it's Miss Envy's to lose. If she comes out clean and puts herself into this race, she's just got the speed, the strength, everything that you need. Interesting point, I think she's second at the moment on the rankings behind Magpie Hector for the wildcard ranking, so if she did get beaten here and Magpie Hector won his, I think she'd be one of the ones that goes in, so she's still in contention for the wildcard, so that's going to be exciting. Coverage on Thursday night on Sky we'll be able to watch all this and see it all play out and see who gets those wild cards. But I think Miss Envy probably won't be needing it. I think she gets the job done here. She's just a superb chaser, and I think she could represent WA very proudly over on the at Sandown in Melbourne.
Indeed, yes. So same. Just looking at some numbers out of those two dogs. So Ironworks over the 715 metres here at Cannington. 27 starts, 16 wins and 4 placings. So a hot record from box 2. 7 starts, 4 wins and 3 placings. So never missed a place from that draw in its career. And Miss Envy, just staggering her numbers against Australia's best. It doesn't seem to matter where you put her. She just gets the job done. So expecting her, she's a standout. She'll be one out in the last leg of the quaddie. She'll be on her own in the first box, trifectas, first fours. The clear and I think only real danger is number 2, Ironworks. It'll be charging home late, but I think Miss Envy may well be off and gone by the time Ironworks gets close enough to it. And then I had 1, 3 and 4, Banali, Max Capacity, Just a Princess, all there for trifecta and first 4 players. But for me, I thought that exacta looked fairly clear-cut. Miss Envy from Ironworks in the distance final.
It is one of those races, though, Shorty, where you look at it and you want to make a case for some other dogs, and you want to try and see what happens if Miss Envy doesn't get through, who's going to be the winner. And it's very tough. She's just so advanced in her form at the moment, into how she's performing, that it's hard to see who's going to beat her, even head-to-head in this sort of race. So it genuinely is a standout, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to any of the other greyhounds, but on what the other greyhounds have been doing, and even Max Capacity at the moment, capable, but just not there at the moment, and in my opinion, probably on paper, not looking like going to be able to challenge Miss Envy. But funny things happen, and who knows? It's a race. It's a greyhound race. Anything can happen. But
well, I guess if you're playing Doomslayer and trying to find a way to get Miss Envy beaten.
Oh, we're not.
We certainly are not. If that's the road that you were trying to go down, then potentially, if Miss Envy was to miss the start and be posted and have to work in the run, potentially it could then be left a little vulnerable late in the piece for using too many petrol tickets. In reality, though, if you know this bitch, box 8, so no pressure from the outside, and a greyhound that we've seen sit handy in sprint races against dogs that are generally quite dour and don't have early zip. That's the real standout for Miss Envy. She by rights is, if they do this 100 times, 90 times she's going to be in front after 30 metres, and it's, I mean, on what we've seen against Australia's best days, good luck beating her from there. It's just basically then becomes her running times that are almost impossible to run her down. So that's the beauty, and that's why she's aiming up at her 3rd WA Greyhound of the Year title. She makes her own luck. She doesn't rely on other dogs doing things for her. She's got that early pace, and she has phenomenal stamina for a bitch that's got that early pace. That's what makes her crazy good, which she has been now coming up for 3 years. And I'll say it again, enjoy it, because she's getting towards the end of her career. It's been a mighty career. I'd love to see her get through and take out yet another feature final, and just to continue. They're going to have to build another room at the back of the house for all of her trophies by the time she's all done and dusted, I'd suggest, Troy.
Yeah, look, I certainly wasn't playing Doomslayer with her, but what I meant was, even if she does get held up a little bit in this race, I can't see anyone that's going to really challenge her. She's still got the ability to get over that, is what I was trying to get at. And I agree with you. I just can't see who's going to be the dog that's going to get over top of her. And so in that reason, I just cannot go past Miss Envy, and I sincerely hope she does get through, because from what we've seen her early days in her staying career now, over 700, she looks phenomenal. And I really want to see what she does at Sandown.
Indeed. And I think the next most consistent and reliable stayer we've had over 18 months has certainly been Ironwork. So if it's a jam up or something crazy happens and it's the logical second pick, I think that will be the exacta in the feature. Big night of chasing to look forward to there. As Troy alluded to, tune into the Sky coverage on. And of course, it's all happening right around Australia on the night. So you get a great preview of what the national finals might look like by having a look at the sprint and distance finals state by state on the night.
The only one that's run so far is Hobart have already run the staying race for their distance runner, obviously with Launceston not being able to use the staying boxes at the moment. So that one's already been run and won, but we've still got the sprints to go from Tasmania, and we've still got all the distance and sprint races from all around the rest of Australia. So tune in Thursday night, should be a great coverage on Sky. We'll get all the up-to-date information about wildcards hopefully as well, and see who's going to be in contention for those, which always add an exciting element to see which greyhounds are still going to get through.
Yeah, must-watch TV for greyhound fans there on Thursday night as we get to see the best in the land strutting their stuff to go on and represent their states. Let's have a look now. Down at Mandurah on Friday night, we previewed the heats of the Cannington Cup last week, and we've got a very good final that has been put together for this Friday night. Great chat in 1, Gideon Manelli 2, Scarlet's Boy in 3, Jaffers Manelli 4, Cypher Manelli in box number 5, Kenya Caviar's drawn in 6, 7 Sparkling Gem, and out there in box number 8, Sunset Augustus. So pretty strong hand for David Hobby. He has got half the runners in the Cannington Cup final there on Friday night. We're going to go back and recap the performance from Gideon Manelli there last week. Here, this is some sort of performance from box number 7. Misses the start here, and Scarlet's Boy and Kenya Caviar begin well, but from box number 7, it just pushes its way through 2 other runners, gets to the outside, and in the space of 100 metres, it goes from being in trouble to 2 lengths in front. And the dog that it gets by in impressive fashion is a very talented one in Kenya Caviar, but once we see Gideon Manelli get to the top, it just goes right on with the job. Kenya Caviar, I think all things considered, sticks on pretty well. It's a nice effort there for second, but Gideon Manelli canes them. 571, 1079, 1614, and it must be said that it wasn't a night conducive to running really quick times, but people forgot to tell Gideon Manelli because it stopped the clock there at 27:08 on Friday night. Margins 4 lengths by 9.5 lengths, if you do not mind. This is a canine that's got gears, one of the faster dogs we've had here in WA for a little while. Still learning how to race because it is lightly raced, but man, is there a motor, and it goes from box 7 to the much more suitable box number 2 in this final on Friday night. I had it on top from number 6, Kenya Caviar, the dog that ran second behind Gideon Manelli last week. I've got it as the main threat. 4, Jaffers Manelli, good there last week, and 8, Sunset Augustus. So 2, 6, 4 and 8 for me in the Cannington Cup final on Friday night. How do you see it, Troy?
Yeah, Gideon's just a star. I mean, we spoke last week about the greyhound and the wide draw, and my concern was how he's going to get across from that draw and where he's going to position. He did it remarkably well. He actually began fairly well for him, and was sitting right behind Caviar going into that corner. And
it was arrogant the way he actually did it, because he was. There were 2 dogs around it, and it was basically last. And you're thinking, oh, this could get very, very ugly. But to the dog's credit, it just forced passage and stayed in a lane where it wasn't going to be interfered with. And then once this dog gets space, boom, It has just got that nitro.
He's got that acceleration, and the way he left Caviar standing for a little bit, and at first I thought, gee, we're in for a big match race here. This is going to be interesting. Caviar's on the inside. And no disrespect to Caviar, but Gideon's just got gears there that just when we get to see them like that, it's exciting. Compared to another good greyhound like Caviar, when that greyhound can do that, it's very exciting. And as you've mentioned, the time it ran, that was exceptional. So cannot go past Gideon Manelli here. Comes to the inside, just needs to get a clean run early, and looks to have the race at its keeping. Caviar, I'm going to put that into danger. If something does happen to Gideon, or he just does find a bit of trouble, Caviar, we know, is going in great form, is racing terrific, has early pace, will put himself in this race at some stage. It can't be overlooked. I've got Sunset Augustus as a keep safe out wide. This greyhound's very capable on its night. And I just wanted to say, I thought Great Chat was a nice debut. Time-wise wasn't brilliant, but I thought it did everything that it needed to do. We mentioned it last week, and it's brought that form. So this is much tougher than its race last week. Yeah, it gets a nice draw here, but this is very much tougher. So keep that one safe just as a watch, because if when we go into other graded races, it could be one that we can get on again. And Jaffers Manelli is the follow-up for greyhound for me.
Alrighty, so there we have it, the feature final down at Mandurah on a Friday night, the Cannington Cup final. Good luck to all runners there. And we'll round it out. Just a brief look at Cannington on Saturday night. It's a punchy program. We've just got the 8 races on Saturday night. And two races worth having a quick look at. Race number 2, Bezecchi draws 1, Premium Star 2, Garrity in 4, Aston Ruler in 5, 7, Fleetwood Kazakh 8, Sunset Caligula. It's a grade 4 over the 520 brought to us by Prime Trophies. Bezecchi is the reserve for the WA Sprint Championship final on Thursday night. So this is a dog that's been eye-catching the last couple of runs. You've got to be keeping a close eye on it. Number 5, Aston Ruler, had no luck last week. The week prior was an impressive winner here. And number 8, Sunset Caligula, is another dog from the David Hobby Kennel with great ability levels. I thought 1, 5 and 8 we'd be keeping an eye out for in race 2 on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'll keep this one short. I've got the same numbers as you, Shorty. 1, 5 and 8. I thought Caligula was a really good chance here off the pink. It's got the pace, it's got a bit of strength, can run time. Aston Ruler needs to begin, needs to put itself in the race. We know it's strong, but it just needs to find that room early. If it does that, then that changes the race a little bit for me. And Bezecchi, the run-on star, he's been racing terrific. Cannot leave him out. So, yeah, got to include him. If he gets a hit on him, he's going to be right there at the finish.
And for the stayers, the race number 3, grade 5 for the sign up WA, West on Menace 1, Cleary Magic 2, Capella in 3, Snappy Snacker 4, West on Sydney in 5, Ferndale Fly 6, Ballistic Bliss 7 and Fast Bite out in 8. West on Menace from box number 1, very consistent, reliable type, runs the distance out, no problem at all. 2, Cleary Magic, coming off a nice win down there at Mandurah over the 647 metres last week. And West on Sydney from the wide draw, no joy at all whatsoever last week, but we saw the week prior really impressive over the middle distance trip with a bit more luck in transit. West on Sydney's a dog with a big engine, be watching out for it. So I had 1, 2 and 5 as the greyhounds I'll be keeping a close eye out for there in race number 3, the staying event on Saturday night.
Yeah, same numbers, Geordie. West on Menace, great win last week, and again, for that reason, you've got to put it in your contention here. Look, West on Sydney, I've been talking this greyhound up for the staying trip for a long time, and I think we just forget last week's run. Found bother, never got a hit at him, and never really got a clean run in the race at all. So forget last week, we go again. I'm putting Sydney on top. I still think this greyhound's got the makings of a nice little stayer, and I'm really keen to watch this one and see what it can do again. But needs to get that clean running, needs to be able to run with momentum, and if it does that, we might get to see what Sydney can truly do over this trip.
Okay, and that's rounded out. See if we can't build a bit of a bank for the punters for Wednesday night chasing, of course, with a switcheroony for the WA Sprint and Distance at Cannington on Thursday. That sees the standard Thursday Mandurah meeting move to Wednesday night. So fine one for us tonight there at Greyhounds WA Mandurah, Troy.
Yeah, going to try and do my best here, Shorty. I'm looking for a little bit of value. So race 8, number 8, Sweet Michelle. This greyhound showed good pace last start, 6:39, running 22:66. Doesn't mind a wide draw. 5 starts, 1 win, 2 seconds, 1/3. I like that box average. There are 2 greyhounds here, Sunset Claudius and Sunset Vanadium, who are going to be much shorter than this greyhound, but I think we get nice each way odds about Sweet Michelle. If it can repeat last week's run or last start's run, I think it's going to be right there, and I reckon we might get good value.
Okay, I'm going to head to race number 6, the sign up WA free for all over the 300 metre trip here, and team up with greyhound number 3, Crackerjack Scud for Lexia Isaac. Wonderful trainer. She's been a great mentor with her dogs for a really long period of time. She's done an excellent job with this particular chaser, Crackerjack Scud. Last 3 runs have all been good. Was a winner of a similar race going back 2 starts ago. Around it has been runner-up behind a couple of really smart greyhounds. I think the Crackerjack Scud with a safe getaway, which it's generally its caper. It's normally a good beginner. If it can spear to the top from box number 3, I think it'll take some running down. Around the each way mark as well, $5.50 on the fixed odds with Tab Touch. That'll do me for my each way value play on Wednesday night there at Mandurah. Speaking of which, if you're looking for a bit of fun this upcoming weekend, why not get the family together and a few of your mates? You can head to Greyhounds WA Cannington on Thursday or Saturday night for the Box 1 restaurant, or indeed get down there to Mandurah on this Friday night. Always a great crowd down there and some magnificent chasing to look forward to as well with that Kenyana Cup final. That is us done and dusted for another week. Appreciate your company as always. We look forward to seeing you again this time next week.